This is a tale of courage and redemption. In the town of Kalendi stood an ancient oak unlike any other, one that wept crimson tears each year. And with every scarlet drop, an innocent youth perished. The townspeople knew not why. None questioned this horror, until one fearless young woman named Zara dared to seek answers. Her discoveries would unveil long-buried truths, and her actions would alter the fate of Kalendi forever. Long ago in Kalendi, a peculiar oak tree dominated the town square. Each year, crimson sap would seep from its bark, and whenever this occurred, a young virgin, boy or girl, would die. Season after season, the citizens lived in terror, uncertain which household would face tragedy next. This grim cycle became their terrible reality, a shadow haunting generations. In this same town lived Zara, a thoughtful girl who had recently lost her father. She shared a modest home with her mother and younger brother, Malik. Zara spent countless hours pondering the mystery. How did this oak appear? Why the annual bleeding? And why must pure-hearted youths pay with their lives? One evening, she approached her mother. "I need to understand something. Why does this cursed oak weep blood yearly? And why does someone always die?" Her mother exhaled deeply. "I cannot say, child. This tree was bleeding before I even wed your father. Its origins remain unknown to all." "But mother, I'm frightened. What if I'm next?" Zara's voice wavered. "The heavens forbid such a thing. You shall never fall victim to that wretched tree," her mother insisted. "Then where are our protectors? Why don't the divine powers intervene? Why must the innocent continue to suffer?" Her mother glanced around nervously. "Enough! Such words invite trouble. Do not speak of sacred matters so carelessly." That night, sleep eluded Zara. While Malik slumbered peacefully, she sat awake, her mind churning with unanswered questions. The next morning, she set out with a water vessel toward the river. Along the forest path, she encountered an elderly townswoman. "Good day, grandmother," Zara greeted politely. "Good day, young one. How fare you?" "Well, thank you. May I ask, do you know how this cursed oak came to exist in Kalendi?" The woman's smile vanished. "That question is too weighty for one so young, but I'll speak truthfully. I know nothing. When I married into this town, the tree already stood there bleeding and claiming lives. None recall its true history." Disappointed, Zara continued to the river, her determination growing stronger. "If no one will speak, I must seek answers from the highest authority, the chieftain himself." Without informing anyone, she walked directly to the chieftain's compound. The sentries initially blocked her path, but an older guard sensed her urgency and escorted her inside. The chieftain, a dignified man with silver-streaked hair, sat upon his seat of authority. "Welcome, child. Sit and share what troubles you." Zara bowed respectfully. "Honored leader, I seek to understand the mystery of the bleeding oak." The chieftain's expression grew somber. He leaned back, gathering his thoughts. "I shall reveal the truth," he began. "Decades passed. Kalendi had a powerful spiritual leader who wielded great influence. After every harvest, he demanded tributes, livestock, grain, produce, claiming divine instruction. Our people complied reluctantly for years. Eventually, they grew weary of surrendering half their hard-earned yield to one man. When they refused, this spiritual leader unleashed devastation. The rains ceased, crops withered, famine gripped the land. Desperate and afraid, the people returned to him, begging for relief. The cunning priest declared that the celestial powers were wrathful. He claimed only one remedy existed, the sacrifice of 2 pure youths, a boy and a girl. Consumed by desperation, the people believed him. He selected 2 children, ignoring their parents' anguished pleas. My father ruled then, and even he, despite his authority, believed the priest's words. I was merely a boy sitting beside my younger sibling, helpless to intervene. The chieftain's voice grew heavy with emotion. The chosen children were taken to their fate. They were laid to rest together in a single grave, and a sapling was planted above its mark to mark their sacrifice. Months later, that sapling grew into a massive, unnatural tree. Then, the priest was discovered dead under mysterious circumstances. The following year, the tree bled for the first time, and my only brother perished. Since then, it has claimed a life annually. Our people consulted a powerful oracle from distant lands. Through divination, the truth emerged. The spirits of those wrongly slain refused to rest. Their rage cursed the tree, demanding yearly retribution. Zara's heart pounded. Is there no solution? The chieftain nodded gravely. There is one way to end this nightmare. A virgin must volunteer themselves, not under coercion, but of their own free will. That willing sacrifice is the only path to appeasing the vengeful spirits. He wiped his eyes. After my father's passing, I married and was blessed with 3 children. None survived past 10 years. The oak took them all. My beloved wife died from the unbearable grief of losing our children. Tears flowed as the chieftain spoke. Zara wept with him. Then she stood abruptly. I have decided. I will volunteer myself to save our people. Before the chieftain could respond, Zara fled the compound and raced home. Her mother and Malik rushed to her side as she burst through the door, sobbing. What happened? They cried. Breathlessly, Zara explained everything, the tragic history, the curse, and the only solution. I have offered myself to end this suffering. No, Malik shouted. I won't lose you. Her mother gasped. You cannot do this. I forbid it. But Zara remained calm. Do we know who will be next? Perhaps me. Perhaps Malik. I refuse to die meaninglessly. If death must come, let it serve a purpose. Let others live. She returned to the chieftain's compound. He sent word throughout Kalendi. The elders convened. The moment had arrived. As the townspeople assembled, Zara stood before the cursed oak. She turned to the chieftain. Promise you'll care for my mother and brother. Promise they'll never want for anything. Upon my honor, I shall treat them as my own family. This I vow before all, the chieftain proclaimed. Her mother and Malik wept uncontrollably. The crowd stood in reverent silence. Zara approached the tree, placing her palms against its rough back. Tormented souls, I come to bring you peace. Let tranquility return to our land. Let sorrow end. Let death cease its premature claims. Accept my offering and rest eternally. A frigid wind swept through the square. In an instant, Zara vanished. The ground stilled. The oak ceased bleeding. Her family collapsed in anguish, and the entire town mourned. Yet they understood that Zara had delivered them all. The following dawn, the chieftain's messenger arrived at their home with a summons. Still numb with grief, Zara's mother and Malik followed him to the compound. The chieftain stood before them, surrounded by elders. Though your pain is fresh, I bring news of comfort and honor. Young Malik shall receive complete educational support through university, all expenses covered. They knelt in gratitude, tears of appreciation replacing tears of sorrow. There is more, the chieftain continued. This compound is now your residence. Bring your belongings, you shall live under my protection." Gasps filled the hall. They bowed again, overwhelmed. "One final matter," the chieftain announced. "Malik is now my designated heir. When I depart this world, he shall lead Kalendi. This is my decree." Stunned silence filled the chamber before it erupted in respectful applause. The elders praised the chieftain's generosity and Zara's unforgettable sacrifice. Years passed. Malik excelled in his studies, while the chieftain and Zara's mother watched over him with pride. Then one afternoon, devastating news arrived. The chieftain had died. After an honorable burial, the elders reminded Malik of the late chieftain's final instruction. He must complete his education before assuming leadership. Malik honored this wish, graduating with distinction. His mother stood beside him at the ceremony, both beaming with pride despite their losses. Soon after, the coronation took place. Thousands gathered as Malik became Kalendi's new leader. Seated upon the throne for the first time, he addressed the crowd. "This position belongs not to me alone, but to my sister Zara, the true savior of Kalendi. Her name shall echo through generations." The people erupted in celebration. Among his first acts as leader, Malik commissioned a monument, a lifelike sculpture of Zara, with her hands upon the oak, frozen in that final moment of sacrifice. At the unveiling, her mother stood beside him, tears streaming down her weathered face. From that day forward, Kalendi celebrated an annual festival of peace, honoring Zara's courage and commemorating the curse's end. The young woman who once sought truth alone became the eternal guardian of her people, her legacy immortalized in stone and story.